Hello everybody, my name is Memo. This is my channel, FancyMemo. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to this week where I talk about the best and the worst music released in 2025. Yesterday I talked about the 10 worst songs that came out in 2025. Today we are going to continue talking about some bad music. We're going to talk about the 10 worst albums from 2025. However, starting tomorrow, we're going to be talking about some good stuff. We're going to be a little bit more positive. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on this week, because tomorrow I will be talking about the 10 best EPs of 2025, which should be exciting. So again, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. But yeah, I've got a handful of albums here that I wish I did not listen to. However, I will be talking about them in this video for you all. So yeah, I guess we could get started, even though I really don't want to. But yeah, before we do get started, if you like music related content like this, please subscribe, since that is what I do here. And if you're already subscribed and you want more of this for some reason, check out my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you like basketball, more specifically NBA basketball, I have a basketball podcast. It's called Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. Check it out if you're interested. But yeah, here we go. I guess we're gonna talk about the 10 worst albums that was released this past year, starting with number 10, which is You'll Be Alright Kid by Alex Warren. I talked about Alex yesterday, former Hype House member. He dropped one of the worst singles of the year with Ordinary, which even though I did not like, a lot of people did, since it went number 1 on the Billboard charts. So shout out to him for achieving that accomplishment. However, this was no accomplishment to the ears, and I'm talking about this album. This album, it's nothing to be proud of, honestly. It's a double disc album. I did not know it was a double disc album going into it. I jumped into this album and I got a handful of bland, boring, uninspired tracks from Alex. Basically every song sounds the same, even though he does try to switch it up here and there for a few songs. But even if he, tries to be a bit more upbeat, maybe there's some more dancey vibe to the track, his monotone, boring ass singing voice is always the same. It really does not ever spice up a little bit. It is just consistently mediocre from beginning to end, and I really don't see the appeal of this album, his music, his voice. What makes him special? What makes Alex special? It's not his voice, it's not his singing. Both of those are boring and bland. The songwriting is mid. The production is, a dime a dozen, cheap sounding, uninspired. Who is this for? Who asked for Alex Warren music? Who asked for a double disc 21 track 1 hour and 3 minutes of music from this guy? Are you serious? I've never met an Alex Warren fan in the wild. This never happened. I do not get it. I don't understand who is listening to this music. His music, it plays. Ordinary has more than 1 billion listens. Why? Why? I don't know. This is a mystery. But yeah, You'll Be Alright Kid is on the list. It's number 10. At number 9, we've got Maroon 5 with Love Is Like. Speaking of who asked for this, who is asking for Maroon 5 music in the big 2025, almost 2026 now? Come on. This is just Old Navy music, Macy's music, that type of music. It's really just uninspired pop music. If you deleted this album from its existence, nothing would change. It's not important whatsoever. Some of the egregious moments here is when they implement a feature that should not be on this album. They got a Lil Wayne feature here. Lil Wayne is on this album, and the beat he had to rap over should not be something that Lil Wayne should be rapping over. It's just this bland ass pop tune, and you're expecting Lil Wayne to rap over this? What are we doing? It's not just him. Sexy Red is on this album as well. She does not belong on the track she's on. Even Lisa's in the pop realm. She shouldn't be on this album. She sounded out of place. How did she, out of all artists, sound out of place from a pop album? I really don't get it. I don't get who's been asking for this, who's been wanting more Maroon 5 music. They haven't dropped anything good since the 2000s. Is the 2020s now, midway through the 2020s. Sometimes, you gotta know when to call it quits, and they they should have called it quits long ago. Let's move on to number 8, which is, oh boy, Taylor Swift, The Life of a Showgirl. This was not a fun listen. Oh my god. I remember reacting to this album during one of my live streams, and I had a horrible time, but it didn't start that way. The first 3 tracks on this album was listenable. I especially liked the first track. I forgot what it's called. The Fate of Ophelia. I liked that track. I thought Elizabeth Taylor was okay. Opalite was good. But then from there, this album went downhill. It's like Taylor Swift talking about her big schlong, or Travis Kelce's big schlong on Wood. We got her talking about how she wants to live with more white people, essentially. We've got another track here talking about how she's only friends with people who got canceled. Okay, red flag alert. What are we doing? This album is filled with some of her worst writing, her cringiest writing. It even has this piss poor diss track towards Charlie XCX, responding to a track where Charlie XCX doesn't really diss Taylor at all. She's just talking about her own insecurities, yet Taylor herself got offended for some reason. Nah, Taylor's a loser. She really is a loser. This album kind of proves it. It was so bad. We've got Swifties coping and trying to come up with reasons why it's so bad, or trying to find ways to justify tracks like Canceled or Wood, where she's only talking about dick. That's all she's talking about throughout the entire track in the least sexiest way possible. It's like a 2x4 trying to turn me on. It really is not doing anything, to be honest. It's not doing much. This album is just very, very embarrassing. I still think the album she dropped last year, the Tortured Poet Society, something like that, is worse. But The Life of a Showgirl has some very, very low lows that, I can't imagine trying to justify. This is some crazy, cringy music here. Alright, that was my number 8. At number 7, we've got Young Thug with UY SCUTI. I'll be honest, I've never been a Young Thug fan. I've maybe a couple projects, a few songs here and there, but Young Thug is just not an artist that I've ever been interested in. So at his best, I wasn't really into his music, but with this project right here is by far his worst, and I absolutely hate it. This man, on the first track, even though it sounded good at first, he ruins it by saying the N-word hard R 50 times in a row for no reason. I can't listen to that in the whip with other people. I'm gonna get stared at. I'm gonna get some glares. It's not me saying it or supporting it, and I know it's a black man saying it, so it shouldn't be an issue, but it sounds like an issue just hearing constant hard R's over and over and over again. This album has some of Thug's worst performances, some cringy lines, which he's known for a cringy line here and there, but still very piss poor writing. The features here are either worse than Thug or outshine him. And the album ends with this long ass giant apology track where he's essentially apologizing to every rapper ever due to multiple reasons that I can't really remember. And then there was a specific section where he's just deriding Drake. I don't know. I really did care for it. He sounded very pathetic, honestly, on this track. Even though it's good to apologize and, own up to your mistakes. But on the track itself, he sounded like a loser, honestly, to be frank. That's how I felt. So, yeah, not a fan of this one. Not at all. It's really not a great track. Look at the album cover. Do you think good music could have come out of an album that has this as a cover? I don't think so. So yeah, that's an L. That was a big L. Speaking of L's, we're going to continue on talking about some more horrible music. And now we're going to talk about the number 6 placement, which is Drake and PARTYNEXTDOOR's Some Sexy Songs for You. This is such a boring ass album. I never want to listen to this album again. And you know what's crazy? I got my first ever death threat by posting this TikTok. Apparently Drake and Party Next Door are dropping a new collab album this upcoming fall, and I feel like it's going to be it's me, being a little tongue-in-cheek, saying that this was gonna be a boring, sleepy album. And guess who ended up being right? This guy. This is a boring ass sleepy album. It's way too long, with some of the most sleepy vocals you will hear on an album. Drake and Party Next Door are so unenthusiastic. They are incredibly boring on this album. There are some highlights. I will say there are a couple of highlights here and there. But then we've got like tracks like Meet Your Padre, which is a track I talked about yesterday, and how I felt offended that Drake put on this horrible Spanish accent and started singing in Spanish. It felt racist, honestly. Or we got like Spider-Man, Superman, where Drake is saying that a girl took him as Spider-Man, Superman. There's no girl mistaking your BBL ass for Superman or Spider-Man. There's no way. That's not happening. That's a lie. Like, what are we doing? There's like some whiny tracks here about his thoughts on the rap beef that he lost last year. Speaking of losing, he lost the lawsuit, or like it didn't go through. He was trying to sue over a rap beef and it's no longer happening. So take the L. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. This is another like just bloated track list from Drake, but this time we have Party Next Door, who is essentially just coasting. You can barely tell that he's on the album. Alright, moving on. We made it to the top five, ladies and gentlemen, and at number 5 we've got Will Smith, of all people, with Based on a True Story. This man is going through something. He's going through a midlife crisis. That's what I think is going on here, because why would he drop an album this bad? This is a talented individual, one of the most talented people to ever grace the earth. He is an incredible actor. I loved him on multiple movies and shows. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a classic. And even though I, don't dig his older music that much, he did a lot for hip hop in the early days, winning the first ever Grammy for a hip hop project. He had some hits. This guy is talented. He threw out this shit. Like, this is shit. It's literally him throwing shit on the wall and trying to see what sticks, and nothing stuck on the wall. Just throwing diarrhea. It all fell. Like, the first track here is like a track of people like glazing him and talking about how he can't get canceled or whatever. Okay, we got a track about him liking pretty girls at his old ass age. Alright, we got some random ass like Spanish track. Like, there really is no consistency within this project, whether you talk about the quality of each song or the type of each song. Like, there are some like standard hip-hop tracks, and then we get like a random dance track or a Spanish track, as I mentioned. And if all of that didn't sound bad enough, this album has a Joyner Lucas feature. So yeah, I'd stay away. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. So yeah, whatever Will Smith is going through, I hope he gets better. I hope he finds hope. I hope he realizes that, music is not for him, and that's okay. That's okay. Willow Smith will carry the torch. Jaden has some good songs here and there. I wouldn't say he's hopeless. He could definitely drop an album better than this. So yeah, let your kids handle the music. You go back and star in a movie, I guess. Alright, number 4. We've got MGK with Lost Americana. I'm tired of this man. This man first lost a rap beef against Eminem, switched up to pop punk, and then I guess he finally realized that he's horrible at pop punk, so he's now jumping into pop music, and it is ass. Like, I feel like MGK actually tried on this album too, which is the crazy part, and he's trying to showcase all of his talents, because there are tracks where he's, doing a little bit of rapping, or, this track here kind of has that pop punk flair that he got some popularity out of from his, last 2 projects. So he really put, his entire MGK Keusi into this album, and it's still ass, and it's because he can't sing. I've been saying this for years. This man can't sing. He can't rap. He can't sing. I don't even think he could play the guitar. I think he just holds it on stage for decoration. This man can't do anything, and yet he's still making music, and people are still listening to it. Who's listening to this? This album is garbage from beginning to end, with some cringy interpolations thrown in there and just uninspired ideas. Like, there's a lot of just horrible ideas, and I really hate how at the age of 35 he's still like talking as if he's a teenager. Don't you have a teenager? Aren't you a dad of a teenager? Why are you trying to make music for them? Why are you acting like a teenager in your own music? You're 35! Like, it's time to move on. This man is the ultimate super senior. Make sure he stays away from the football games. Please. Because we know about his past history. Maybe that's why he's making music for young people, actually. You know, that's the target demo that he's very interested in. Yeah, this is bad. This is garbage. Alright, let's move on to number 3, which is Even in Arcadia by Sleep Token. I will say from the beginning, just to start things off, I'm not a metal expert. Metal's not my thing, right? I do like some metal albums. As you can kind of see, I've got System of a Down, Toxicity right here. A perfect album. I love that album. So to think that this album, Toxicity, is considered to be the same genre as this album is absurd. There's no way those two projects are considered to be both metal albums. There's no way. If that is the case, Sleep Token made the weakest, softest metal album I've ever heard in my life. Like, this is pop. It's pop music. And it's okay to make pop music. I love pop music. Pop music is great. I love listening to pop music. I've got the king of pop right here, Michael Jackson. I love listening to pop music. So at this point, Sleep Token should be a pop artist because he can't make metal music. This is garbage. It really is. This album has absolutely no edge to it, and I don't care how many like loud parts there are, like screaming. There's really no edge to this album. There really isn't. I've heard edgier stuff from Lemonade Mouth. That's how weak this album is. It's really nothing special. The writing here tries to be special, but it really isn't. It's mediocre. And the singing here, oh my god, just extremely performative. Does not sound genuine whatsoever. The vibrato is insane. Again, it just sounds performative. He's like just trying to put on a show here, and it's not giving. It really isn't. It's a piss poor pop album. This is not metal. It can't be. There's no edge to it. It's soft as baby shit. It really is. I'm not listening to this again. This was not a good time for me. Speaking of not a good time, I just realized what's the next album, and I got like PTSD from it. At number 2. We're at number 2 already. We got Morgan Wallen with I'm the Problem. Yes, you are. You are the problem. You are, oh my god. You are everything that's wrong with like the music industry, with these bloated ass albums that are essentially a chore to go through. Like, listening to a Morgan Wallen album reminds me of like my days as a math major, where I had to take these like 2-hour courses on something that I really did not care about, to be honest. I don't know why I was a math major. And I just had to sit there and take it. That's how I felt listening to this album. I was just sitting there and taking it, and I hated every single moment. It's just this rich white man talking about all of his like relationship issues, his love life that I do not care for. Here and there he will talk about like beer or being a working man as if he's not a millionaire. But yeah, like, I hate how long this album is. This album has 37 songs. 37, not 6, 7, 37 songs. 1 hour and 57 minutes long. This is the problem with like the music industry. Just artists pumping out albums with so much bloat, ignoring the artistic value of the music, and just making such bloated projects so that their fans will listen to the whole thing and they get a lot of streams and rank up the charts and get more money. This is all for money. at the end of the day, there's no way Morgan Wallen made this album with artistic intentions in mind. He did this for the money. That's it. That's why he made such a bloated ass, boring ass album. Like, who in their right mind would listen to 2 hours of Morgan Wallen and like every single one? There's no way. He did this in order for people to grab songs they do like, put it in their playlist, and yeah, get as much streams as possible. I also hate how he has like trap drums within his music, you know, really taking inspiration from black music, which is really funny since this guy likes saying the N-word. Okay, why are you saying the N-word and taking inspiration from black artists? Like, that's weird. Also weird how, you know, this is not a Morgan Wallen thing, but it's a country fan thing where like Beyonce would drop an amazing country album and they wouldn't consider that country, but they would consider Morgan Wallen singing over some piss poor hi-hats, and that's country, even though he's, you know, literally using trap drums within his production. It's essentially the same thing as what Beyonce did, except Beyonce dropped a better quality album with better production, better singing, better writing, better everything, and yet that's not country. Okay, this is why I don't mess with country. This is why Morgan Wallen is the problem. He is the reason why I don't like country music. God damn it, this was a chore to go through. Maybe someday I'll go back and listen to a country album other than Cowboy Carter, but you know, that time is not gonna be anytime soon. I'm tired of country music, and it's Morgan's fault. It really is. All right, we've made it to the number 1 spot, the number 1 worst album of 2025, and that is The Carter 6 by Lil Wayne. This is another album I reacted to on stream for the most part. I was having copyright issues, same with the Taylor album. I guess both of those artists do not want to see me trash their albums, but you know, I had to. This album is trash, and you know, it's from a rapper that actually helped me get into rap music. He was one of the first hip-hop artists I've ever listened to. I really loved his music when I was younger. I ended up like growing off of it, and over the years I kind of had the thought that he is kind of overrated, because when you think about it, he's not really the best album artist out there. Like, everything he's done since the Carter 5 has been dog shit, and nobody's been talking about it. Funeral, The Fix Before the 6, I don't know what else he dropped, but I'm sure he dropped some more projects. And now The Carter 6, which is probably his worst album. It has some of his worst songs to date, and the lows are so low that like I can't even remember any high point. Every time I think of The Carter 6, I think of Peanuts to an Elephant or Sharks with Jelly Roll and Big Sean. Sharks aren't always in the water. Where else would they be? We also got tracks like Island Holiday, where she's interpolating the Weezer song Island in the Sun. We got Maria, where Lil Wayne is rapping for Andrea Bocelli. Like, I'm sure there are decent tracks here, but I can't remember them. I can only think of all of the horrible lyrics and production choices and just songs in general. Like, it's hard for me to think of a good track when I have a total of 19 tracks, an hour and 7 minutes of music, and the biggest highlights here are the lowlights. I can only think about the lowlights. Everything else is just a blur to me. I really can't remember anything good coming out of this album. That is why it is the worst album of 2025 in my humble opinion. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's my list. That's the top 10 worst albums of 2025. I'm clearly very tired, as you can see, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, makes sense, right? Comment down below, what is the worst album to be released in 2025? To me, it's the Carter 6. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. If you like music related content like this, please subscribe, since that is what I do here. And if you're already subscribed and want more of this for some reason, check out my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you like basketball, more specifically NBA basketball, I have a basketball podcast. It's called Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. Check it out if you're interested. But yeah, I'm done here. So thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Goodbye. Sharks aren't always in the water.